Okay, we're back again, and today we're going to reassemble the front end of the Cbr F4i, and we're on episode 14. We're getting real close to the end. Like I said, I think I'm going to have about 20 episodes here, and then we'll be done. And if you're a subscriber, don't forget to hit the bell, so when I put out videos, you can be reached on the subscriber list. That'd really help me out if you check them videos out when I release them. But there's a couple main things when you take apart this bike that you need to make sure that you do. One, you need to torque everything back to spec. In the description below, if you're doing this process, I'm going to list all the torque specs. Now I don't torque them in this video before the video ends. I actually went back and retorqued everything after the video was done. But it's very vitally important that these bolts are torqued back to spec. And you don't want to over torque the fork leg bolts on the bottom that are holding the fork axle nut in. You can actually crack it or damage it if you over torque it. So it's very vital that you torque those that front axle, the front fork leg bottom bolts correctly. So the other thing is when you watch this video, when I reinstall these forks back up into the triple trees, I put the snap ring back on the top of the forks. Now most sport bikes, if they have adjustable suspension to a point, especially upside down forks, there's markings on the fork tube that you can lengthen or shorten the fork tube down into the triple trees, which if you really want to mess with the suspension, you can do that. A lot of people don't understand that or how that works, so they just leave it set. This bike does not have it, so you put that snap ring on there, and then once you put the snap ring on and the clip on over the fork will be held in place at that snap ring, and that's how that's set there. So put the snap ring on after you put the clip on, or put the fork through the clip on, and then put the snap ring on, and then let it drop into the clip-on handlebars. One of the other things also that I didn't do in the video, but you'll see when I reinsert, when I put that front axle bolt back in, is that you actually need to grease it, and that's a vital part to that front axle bolt. Is to grease that. The front and the rear, those things need to be greased quite often, actually. The rear one was almost really dry, and once it dries out, it'll start catching those bearings, and it could possibly wear the bearings out faster. And the other note I had was hit the bell if you're subscribed. And it's really cold out here, and I've about got this Polaris Sportsman done, so hopefully get that out of the garage, and then hopefully we'll get some warm weather so I can get on this Honda for Nick and tune the suspension and send it on back down the road. I just don't want to give it back to him. The work's done, but I want to ride the bike before I give it back to him, because I don't know what he's going to do with it. His brother could be a little crazy on stuff, and I mean, I think Nick would be okay with it, but I just want to make sure that I have everything set right. So hit the social up, Instagram, Facebook, check me out, and then if you're a subscriber, thanks for subscribing, and hit the bell so you get notified when videos are coming out. Thanks a lot. Let's get into this.
Can we ride in this moment?